All right. Good day wherever you are in the world. This is going to be my Wednesday weekly update for the 20th, I believe, of August. I'm recording this actually on a Monday night. Sometimes I do that. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Engel, and I've been a hospice patient for 9 months now. And part of it, I believe, is because I weighed like 165 pounds. When you have a little bit more weight, you last a little bit longer. I think I'm down to like 112 pounds now, or 113. So I've lost a lot of weight. Now, the other thing about me is sometimes I express myself through poetry. If you missed last week, I had a rally. I started steroids and it was almost hard to fall asleep, and so they prescribed me some medicine to help fall asleep. And one of the things that has been popping up this week is what I want to talk about. So the first part of this is almost going to be like a poetry slam, because for some reason that's one way I express myself. And then in the end, I'm just going to sum it all up in like something really quick. I'm going to call this one Water, Waves, and the Greatest Leap of Faith. And because it flowed out of me, I have my notes, so I'll be looking down at my notes rather than always be looking up. So again, this is called Water, Waves, and the Greatest Leap of Faith. I've never been a sailor physically, but the metaphor of boats on the sea has always resonated with me. Friday, I began to find scary thoughts creeping in my mind. I prepared for the journey into the greatest unknown. I have all the supplies needed for now and for later. I'm ready to go. Now what? And when I talk about that, just so that you are clear, I have breast cancer, and so if you're on hospice, you're headed for the great unknown, which is death. Who's sitting on my couch reading a book? Waiting. Death? Hello? No sheath, no darkness, no look, no stare. Death simply looks up to let me know it's there, waiting, and it hits me. No matter how physically prepared for the journey I seem, which will not make it easy, but easier, I'm never going to be mentally or emotionally prepared. And now the waves of emotion within my mind become less occupied, rise to the surface. So what I'm talking about here is that for the past 9 months, I have prepared for this journey physically. I have written all my care plans. I have made a will. I've made sure my finances are in place, and I have all the supplies I need for all of the stages that I'm going to be going through. So now, that's what I mean when I say that no matter how physically prepared I am for the journey, which will not make it easy, but easier for the people around me, and even for my own mindset a little bit, now that I'm done preparing for that, I have time to sit and reflect on what death really means. Less and less can I eat or move, and soon will have to depend upon those around me. Can I do it? Do I have a choice? Death is the ultimate leap of faith, and I find it coming closer and closer, and I'm scared. Not because death itself is scary. As I said, it's just sitting on my sofa, waiting calm and quiet, unassuming, but simply because it is the greatest leap of faith. All will be well within my soul, and often it really is. For now, I can still care mostly for myself, but soon that's going to disappear. And that's when the waves come, and I can now feel it coming, more and more near. Connected to oxygen 24 hours a day, breathing my biggest concern, yet 96 to 98% saturation does occur, so I'm safe. I remind myself. Today I am safe and sound, and tomorrow I will be too. Even I have to give up all my independence, which is exceedingly difficult to do. So that was kind of the poetry part. Whoa. My right earbud does not like to stay in. On Friday, I began to notice that because I am prepared, there's no more really preparing physically. I've done all of that. Now I have time to be like, now what? And as I'm able to eat less and less, as I'm able to be connected to oxygen, and I've made the decision that I'm homebound now. I won't be leaving my house anymore. So in conclusion, how am I doing? Well, mostly fine. I can still care for myself most of the time. 98 to 99.9% of the time, I'm good. So let's go back to caring for myself. I do have caregivers in the morning from 8:30 to about 12:30 in the afternoon. Then my husband comes home, and I have other people in the house that help me. So they help me like set things up and take things down. So I do need a little bit more help in regard to that. 98 to 99% of the time, I'm in a good positive mood, but eating and digesting are getting harder. I can either eat or be awake, and I can't really do both. So if you come visit, if I eat, I might sleep for a couple hours afterwards. My breathing sometimes is my number one concern. It does get hard to breathe sometimes. I am on like steroids and a nebulizing treatment, but what happens is I have nodules in my lungs, and sometimes there's wheezing, and I've actually found when I'm more empty, when I don't have as much food in my system, ironically, sometimes it's harder to breathe because I don't know, it just is. And then at the other end, if I eat too much, it's harder to breathe. So there's always this delicate balance that I have to play with my diet in order to feel better. A lot of it is related to my diet. And as I can't eat as much or I sleep, you're just going to start noticing that. And that's what happens through the process. A person will end up sleeping more and more. So I have started to notice that the rally that I had last week of not being able to sleep and being awake more has died down, which is actually good, that I'm relaxed a little bit more. But people might start seeing me sleep more and more again. And that's part of the process. With that said, I'm getting 96 to 98% oxygen saturation, so I am getting oxygen, and I remind myself that most of the time I'm pretty comfortable and I'm pretty much in peace. And again, I do this every single time. I have my notebook, and really staying on top of your meds. I had 3 problems. I had pain, nausea, and breathing. Because I'm really strict about my diet and because I'm really strict about following my schedule, I really don't have a lot of pain unless I do something dumb and overeat or whatever. And the nausea, for the most part, has gone away. But again, a lot of it is what I do. What I do affects how I feel. And so I've been more and more strict about that, because when I mess that up, it's really not good. So I'm being really pretty strict about it, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. Like I said, 98-99% of the time. But now that I'm done planning And now that I'm really strict, and now that I feel the rally starting to come down, emotions are starting to come to the surface, where no matter how prepared I think I am, and I'm pretty prepared, that's one thing that people have been saying, that is rare. So if you know someone going through the hospice, prepare as much as possible, use that team as much as possible to help prepare, because even though it won't make it easy, it will make it easier for the patient, and then for all the people around that patient as well. But again, no matter how prepared I think I am, I'm not, and I do get scared. There is that 1% time, 2% time, and as I watch my body atrophy, there's not going to be much left to atrophy, so I'm assuming at some point I will be bedbound, and I'm going to have to rely on everyone around me to take care of me. And for those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm exceedingly independent. So this is going to be the ultimate leap of faith. Number one, trusting everybody around me to take care of me, and that I've planned well enough for them to do that, and that they can help each other and support each other. Because as I've said in other videos, you can't have just one caretaker. You're gonna have like hospice, you're gonna have probably some family caretakers, and then if you're lucky and you have some extra finances, you can hire more team, or if you have a bigger family. But make sure there's a team taking care of that person. It's not just gonna be one person. But for the person going through it, which is myself, it is going to be exceedingly difficult for me, because I've always been so independent. So that's the first leap of faith, trusting that everyone around me really does have me, and that'll be okay. And then I'm also becoming a little bored, so I'm gonna have my husband pick up activity books. If someone is on hospice, getting them things that might perish might not be the best thing, but maybe giving them activity books or something like that they can do while they're on hospice would be good. So I'm gonna have my husband pick up some activity books so that I can keep myself distracted, because I am finding as I'm getting weaker, as I'm able to eat less, as I'm done preparing, my mind needs something to do, because the waves are starting to come more and more. When I say the waves, I mean my emotion that you just saw of being scared about the ultimate leap of faith. So that's where we are this week. Join me to see if anything changes next week. What I am noticing is sometimes there's small changes week by week, but what you're really going to see is the bigger changes month by month.